Well, it wasn't pretty, but in the end, it didn't matter because Andrew Porter's close-range try was enough to secure back-to-back Six Nations titles for Ireland. And really, no one can deny they have been the best team in the tournament over the past 2 years. 65 minutes it took for Ireland to release that pressure valve, and when they did, they could finally see the finish line. Pure joy for Andrew Porter and for his teammates, and when James Lowe finally booted the ball into the stand, you could see the Aviva erupt as Ireland secured back-to-back Six Nations titles for just the second time in their history. And you can see what it means to captain Peter O'Mahony and to his teammates on the field there, because these really are glory days for Irish rugby. A fifth Six Nations title in 11 years. And it has been another day to savour in Dublin. Well, they certainly made us sweat a little bit, and I think relief was probably the greatest feeling around the Aviva when that clock did go into the red. And this is what they had to say as these celebrations got underway.
Jack, congratulations. Your first Six Nations campaign, and it ends with a championship medal around your neck.
Yeah, something that you always want to have around your neck, and got a taste of it last year. But yeah, for us as a group to do it is something special. So yeah, it wasn't easy, but yeah, more special now to get the win.
Jemison, congratulations, back-to-back championship titles. What did that feel like? Because it seemed like there was a bit of final day jitters.
Yeah, I think so. I just said there to the lads, two really good teams going at it. Scotland were up for it today. Certainly they were playing for a triple crown, so proud nation and a proud team, and they really did stick in it to the bitter end. But I suppose the main thing is we came away with the result in the end. Tig,
you've just finished a lap of honour for the second year in a row. Just tell us how that feels.
Yeah, incredible. Especially the day that was in it for me as well. On my 50th, couldn't thank this group enough. We had a goal to go back to back, and we managed to do it today. So it's going to be it's a special day for not only for this group and those that are going to be leaving, but everyone who's at home and everyone in this stadium. Give them something to cheer about this Paddy's weekend.
This team has achieved so much. People forget that championship titles used to be quite rare things.
Yeah, it's. At the start of this week, we'd obviously lost to England, and people were disappointed because we wanted the two Grand Slams, and then I suppose I remember Pete talking, at Paul O'Connell spoke as well. It's been like the opportunity to play for a championship in an Irish jersey is something that rarely comes around, and a special week. And I think from then on we kind of appreciated the week we had ahead and managed to put in a performance today and have the two championships. So yeah, very special.
Andy Farrell, congratulations. You got there, another title in the bag. How was it for you? Was it a hard watch at times, frustrating?
No, I actually thought that was a proper test match. Two sides that were desperate to win a trophy. This is where the trophies could have been won or lost today, and that's how it should be. Test match rugby. The weather was tough in the first half. I thought Scotland played the game really well, and I thought we stayed in it really well and converted a bit of pressure down in the 22 here. So we went in with a short lead at half time, but the way that we came out in the second half, I thought it was really strong. Showed our intent, our commitment to getting after the game, and although it didn't show on the scoreboard, I was really pleased with the performance in the second half because of that, the intention to keep the pressure on.
So much to chat about, and we can talk about the day and the game in a while first, but let's just celebrate the achievement of these players, Jamie, because 5 championship titles in 11 years is quite some going for Irish rugby.
It's amazing, and to go back to back twice in that period is, growing up, you didn't really have these things to look forward to. They've inspired a whole other generation of what it is to play for Ireland and what Ireland can do at that level. And it's not an easy thing to win a championship and to go back to back, play a World Cup in between that. It's tough, and when you think about the people who have rotated out of the squad since last year, and it's just, I'm not going to say it's been seamless, but to have that consistency and win another championship, despite all those changes and everything that's going on, a lot of rugby being played, is amazing. Credit to them. It wasn't pretty on the day, But you're not going to be talking about that game for long, I can tell you. You're going to be looking at that medal.
Yeah, you are, because that's what they're going to be remembered for, Stephen, and that's why Josh van der Flier hit the nail on the head. Playing for a championship in an Irish jersey is a rare thing to be celebrated.
Yeah, it sure is, and I think the most exciting thing, Jackie, about this group of players is that they probably didn't play to their potential in the last couple of games. What more are we going to see from this side over the next couple of seasons, because they're only going to mature and get better, and the confidence to be able to close out a really tight game against Scotland, albeit at home, but it started to get tense, it started to get nervous, and even with a couple of minutes left on the clock, they were able to close the game out. And fair play to the lads. From the first whistle against France 8 weeks ago, they just got it going, and since then they've kept their foot down and eventually got over the line. It's brilliant for them.
Jamie's right, Fiona. It all happens with a World Cup cycle in the middle of and all that as well. The disruption of losing players like Johnny Sexton. To be able to take all of that adversity and everything that's come with it and to come out and still win is quite a testament to Andy Farrell and what he's done with this group.
Yeah, like obviously the players go out and doing the pitch, but the way he pulled them back after the disappointment of the World Cup, blooding new players as well, and just how much they're enjoying the camp. Time and time again they speak about how much they're going in and they're playing for him and they're playing for the management team, and it's credit to his management style, the people he's brought in as in the coaching staff, but likewise the players that he's given opportunities and they've answered him. Like Jack Crowley's gone in there, started championship, and has been not flawless but has taken ownership of that jersey. And I think there's so many young players in there, Joe McCarthy and the likes, that are just going to progress, and credit to the entire management team, but Andy Farrell as the leader was hugely impressive.
At the other end of the spectrum then you have players like Peter O'Mahony. He wouldn't be drawn on whether this would be his last game, so who knows, but the likes of him, Conor Murray, Cian Healy, a 5th championship medal is incredible.
Oh, and those guys, whenever they do hang up the boots, they will be looking at a cabinet full of medals and trophies, and no one can take that away from them, and that's what they'll be looking at, that body of work that they've been able to be part of teams to do that.
Lovely for Peter to have those moments with his children
too.
It's
brilliant. And in the trophy lifting you see Cian with his 2 kids there as well, and that's actually a really interesting thing that Andy has done. He's realised that it's bigger than just the team, and the family are actively involved a lot. That brings a level of freshness to the camp, but also kind of lets everyone understand who's involved in this and who's behind it, and the team behind the team almost. And that's been like a big part of creating a really inclusive culture in that team. And obviously the guys buy into that and then they deliver on the field.
Yeah, people at home just don't understand the dedication and time that it takes. Peter O'Mahony's been around for so long, but he's away from his family for large parts of the year, going away on Rugby World Cups. And he's making memory. He's wanting to lay foundations for other players that are going to come after him. And I think he led by example the whole way throughout this tournament. There were huge question marks, wasn't there, whether he should be the captain or not? But I think all in all, he can be really proud of his efforts, as is the other lads.
Yeah, just to go back to the likes of Cian Healy, he had severe injury. To be able to come back from that, just the effort that put in to be at the level that he is consistently. Conor Murray the same, answered critics time and time again, and Peter O'Mahony, I'm not talking about today, I'm talking about the course of their career, and to come out with 5 championship medals at the end of it's really impressive.
Yeah, and look, I think it's very hard to sit here tonight and say, OK, that's the end of their careers, because we just don't know. But Ty Byrne did reference it in his interview there as well. He said there's people moving on, the group is going to change. There's a tour to South Africa in the summer as well. I think it's about celebrating a group of players who, in all likelihood, maybe don't play together again. And I think they'll know that as much as anybody, Jamie.
Yeah, I think Andy probably made Peter captain because there was people like Johnny Sexton who had gone away, right? So you keep someone who's been around as your senior leader and you give him the captaincy. Do I think Peter's captain the next Six Nations? I don't think that's going to happen. But do we know when he's going to play his last game for Ireland? No one knows that, right? There's a tour, there's a November series, there's opportunities. I don't believe he has signed a contract yet for next year, so who knows what's going to go on. But that's the nature of a Six Nations championship, and they would have been talking about this is one of the few, probably the last time that group of players played together. And every time as a team, that's a kind of conversation and narrative you have in these kind of competitions. And they will cherish that, they'll enjoy the moment, and that's what they should do, because these are moments that will last forever for them, and they should cherish it.
They'll know they want to get better too, though, Stephen, because look, let's take the championship on a wider basis.
Take the shine off.
They say, the France performance aside, which I think maybe got all of us so excited about it, where we felt the Grand Slam was on the table because of the way that they were playing. The championship, they'll know themselves. They didn't play at their absolute best for the entire championship. championship either.
Yeah, there were aspects of the game that were disappointing today, that's for sure. And Andy Farrell touched on it being a really tough test match. I think both teams probably didn't play to their potential. More so Ireland. We didn't see the ruthlessness that we've seen in the past. Big game players maybe didn't have the same impact. Joe McCarthy coming off early in the game, he didn't get the ball in hand that he would have expected. But in saying that, they still find a way to get it done. Yeah. And that's the most important thing about today. Take the performance out of it. They got over the line.
Does it matter, Fiona, the performance?
Not tonight, it doesn't. I'm sure as they go and plan towards South Africa, they'll certainly review it and see where they can improve. And the first half, they looked to kick too much. It was lacklustre, had no energy. I think they turned it on then at the 60-minute mark and they looked to go after the game, but lack accuracy, particularly in the 22, which previously had been so good at. But tonight it's just about celebrating that win.
Yep, it certainly is. Ireland are celebrating.